A very good morning to each one of you. On behalf of Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce, we welcome you all on this exclusive webinar on automating marketing operations using generative AI. The session is organized under the aegis of IT and Cybersecurity Expert Committee, chaired by Mr. Manas Dasgupta, who is the founder and CEO of Teksands, and co-chaired by Anjana, who is the Business Group HR Head, TCS Growth Markets. I'm Roopa, Assistant Secretary General at BCIC. And I'm sure today's session will have a lot of key takeaways for the delegates. And I would briefly introduce Manas to the delegates. He is specialized in Gen AI automation and process transformation. He leads various platforms that cut recruitment time by up to 80%. He is a globally recognized educator with best-selling courses on Coursera, Udemy, and he also serves as generative AI faculty at Upgrad, designing programs for business professionals. And he closely works with the IT and BT departments of the state government in supporting them with the modifications in the curriculum. And thanks to Anjana also, who is also part of the team. I now request Manas to take over from here. And before that, I thank all the annual sponsors of the chamber for their immense support in the activities of the committee. Over to you, Manas.
Thank you, Rupa. Anjana, do you want to chip in? Sorry.
Sorry. I think I was toggling with the unmute and mute button as usual. So very, very good morning to everybody. Thank you for joining in. I think we still have participants joining in. Thank you for the wonderful note, Roopa. As usual, it's wonderful to hear from you. And as you all know, Manas has been a keen educator and a keen contributor to various activities, whether it is academia or industry. So looking forward to hearing from you, Manas, and welcome everyone once again.
Thank you. So I'll share my screen. All right. So I'm back. You can just confirm you can see me, hear me. Everything's good.
Yeah, we can see you, hear you.
Thank you.
But you're still yet to share. Yes, we can see the slide. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to learn about generative AI. So generative AI is new technology, and it's the buzzword. And I mean, if you talk about, if you think about one technology that is stealing the show in terms of the way it's being talked about, the hype, and etc. etc. It's in the technology world. It's probably Gen AI. You have heard about ChatGPT, you have heard about large language models, and those are buzzwords that are going on. And every day, Sam Altman is giving some comment and predicting the future of generative AI, or Mark Zuckerberg is predicting the future of generative AI and AI in the world, and etc. So a lot of things are happening. Now, we don't care about all of those. Okay, I mean, there are influencers that are talking, and then there are CEOs that are talking. I mean, fine. So what? And that's where we come into picture. So what? I mean, there has to be something for us, right? So they are talking about generative AI. There has to be some meat for us. I mean, there has to be some not for learning, not for the hype, not for the curiosity, not for the fun, not for Gen being another gizmo and etc. But there has to be some business value that generative AI should bring to the table to help all of us. I mean, I mean, a lot of us are from the world of business. We are execs, we are business owners, or we are custodians of various processes and etc. We should understand as to how generative AI can add value to the processes. Now, there have been a lot of different technologies that have come in the, let's say, last 10, 15, 20 years, etc. I mean, that's probably an average kind of experience span of the audience here. I mean, I'm just taking a wild case. It can be much shorter or it can be much longer. But then if I just take that as the experience span, we have seen technologies like blockchain came, but there was a huge hype and a lot of startups got millions of dollars of funding and etc. etc. All of those happened, but really, if we really try to find out use cases around us in our world, we don't really see blockchain, right? I mean, it should not be generative AI, should not be another such technology that there is a lot of noise around in the media, but ultimately, I don't see generative AI, anybody using generative AI in kind of improving some of the stuff that we regularly do day in and day out at our offices. I mean, today's session is about marketing, so we have to see something that marketers should leverage from Gen AI. I mean, it should help us do things better. And so that's where we come in today to find out what it can do in the world of the marketeers and make things better. Okay. Now, when we talk about any process, and our case in point is marketing, there is a strategy team. Marketing, there are people who are dealing with the marketing strategy. Then there are people dealing with content creation, creative. Then there are people who are dealing with ads, media, and etc. Then there are people who are actually churning numbers and helping the strategy people, saying that, okay, we are getting these vibes about our product, and our competitors are doing this, and going into the market and doing some research, churning data from the internet and etc. So these are the kind of, I mean, if you just think of marketing as a division and kind of work that we do in marketing, these are kind of some of the things that we perform in our marketing teams, right? Maybe, I mean, what we directly see is that content creation, people writing blogs, people writing articles, people generating images, people putting Facebook ads. Those are some of the initial ones, but then there are other strategic ones like competitor analysis, market analysis, product market fit, and all of those stuff, which are also part of marketing, which are kind of a little more deeper topics. Now, if we think about generative AI, and we will go into the tools and see some of the examples of tools later. We will do some hands-on as well, and we will see what magic, some of the magic that generative AI can do, and what tools are available. But before that, let's go through some of the use cases. Now, fortunately, if we think about, let's say, blockchain was a technology that was super, and it was looking, it was a technology, I mean, it became a fun. It was a technology which was looking for an use case, right? Unlike that, generative AI is all encompassing. You can apply generative AI in different shapes and forms into literally everything. Any function that you are in, be it you are from marketing, be it you are from content generation, be it you are from you are a person who deals in generating creatives, or you are a person who does SEO strategy, or if you are a person who writes blogs and articles, or if you are a person who does market analytics and market research, or for that matter, marketing strategy, generative AI is going to be very helpful in whatever you are doing. Okay, it is a very generalized technology, and it has literally no endless scope, no scope or endless scope. I mean, no scope, probably wrong word, but its scope is literally endless. Okay, and how it is endless, we will see based on what capabilities generative AI brings in. Now, if you look at marketing, there are lots of different use cases. Let's look at some of the use cases. Say, for instance, campaign content generator. So you are coming up with marketing content. So let's say you are working in a beverage company, or you are working in an electronics manufacturing company, or you are working in a e-commerce company, irrespective, you would be dealing with campaigns. Okay, so if you are in that function, your company will be dealing in campaigns, either campaigns in Facebook, either campaigns in LinkedIn, or whatever. There can be specialized channels. So let's say, for instance, you may be dealing with campaigns in India Mart if you are a bulk manufacturer, bulk seller, etc., etc. So you will be doing some campaign. What can generative AI do? Automatically generate the tailored ad copy, email sequences, and social media. So let's say you are um, creating some email campaigns. So cold emails, you need to generate sequences, and those email sequences in coherent manner based on your customer persona can be generated very easily without you having to write the English and or whatever language. The generative AI can generate those ad copies, email sequences, social media posts based on product features, and etc. etc. So very recently we have developed end-to-end marketing product wherein we do market research, and we create such content within our platform, and we help our clients post them on the various social media platforms, right? So those kind of applications require IT intervention, but even with using ChatGPT or similar tools, you can perform those operations, right? So instead of you spending hours writing copy, you use generative AI. Literally, it comes down to minutes. Audience insights and segmentation. So this is a little more deeper than creating ad copies. So you can use generative AI to analyze your CRM, web purchase. So if you are deep into marketing, you would be having your CRM data, and that CRM data may be populated from different sources. Maybe it's getting populated from your website, from visitor data, or it is getting populated from the inquiries that your customers are placing in from different channels. Maybe it's Facebook channel, maybe it's your website, maybe it's IndiaMart or whatever, right? So there can be different channels, and your population, data population or prospect population of data is happening in the CRM. Or there can be other databases where your customer engagement data is present. Now, that's a lot of data. That's a lot of data. And when there is data, you have to make it transform it into insights, and you can derive strategy from those insights. So generative AI can provide you the tools to perform natural language based operations on those data, unlike you are having to install something like Power BI, learn Power BI or Tableau or those kind of analytics tools, and kind of connecting them to different sources, etc., etc. And churn those analytics. So generative AI makes it very, very easy. Now, how does it make it very, very easy? It makes it very, very easy because generative AI, apart from its ability to generate content, also has deep expertise and capability of churning data or analyzing data, okay, and analyzing huge amount of data or complex data, right? So those capabilities help you perform these operations of audience sigma insights and analyze audience insights and segmentation of your customer base. You can perform competitor intelligence from different channels, continuously scan competitor websites, ads, etc. Now, we know ChatGPT can create content. Okay, now we also know that ChatGPT and similar tools can analyze data as well, right? Now, there are other capabilities that ChatGPT and other tools, generative AI tools have, which are research. Now, how so? So they have the ability to get into, so the tools have the ability to get into the websites either on their own using smart intelligence within them, or specified by yourself. If you can specify a bunch of websites, let's say those are your competitor websites, then generative AI tools will go to those websites, scan for the data, scrape the data, and bring those data to you. Now, why do you want to do that? You want to do that because you want to see what your competitors are doing. There are other capabilities that generative AI can connect into. Say, for instance, instead of scanning the websites for information, you can also decide that, okay, I want to scan the website of or scan the Facebook posts of my competitors. You can do that. There are ways and means that provides you the ability to scrape the information from your competitors' Facebook channels, from LinkedIn channels and other channels through APIs, and analyze those data and present to you as to what is important for you, right? So competitor intelligence is another feature or another capability you can develop using generative AI tools. SEO strategy optimizer. So sometimes it's a struggle for marketeers to create keyword rich blogs, right? So you have a topic. So let's say you are a blog writer, and those blogs get into your websites, which enrich your website in terms of SEO, so that they are easily found by Google. The keywords in your blogs are present, and that's where your SEO ranking goes up. So these are straightforward SEO ranking strategies that companies adopt, right? Provide a lot of blogs in your websites which are keyword rich. Now, those keywords are relevant to your business. And when you want, when people are searching in Google through those or other search platforms, using those keywords, your website comes up towards the top, right? So that is a idea. Now, for that, you have to write keyword-rich blogs. Now, you are writing blog. Writing the blog, it's difficult enough. But when you are adding another layer of complexity, which is, okay, these are the 4 keywords this blog should contain, writing the blog meaningfully without distorting and without making it sound funny, to make it enriched with those keywords is a very difficult thing, right? It may take you hours. Instead, you can use generative AI tools to write those blogs and make them keyword rich, all done in seconds, literally. Right, personalized website copywriter. So there's some of the things that we have said, creating dynamic, persona-specific product description, testimonials, CTAs. All these elements should be part of the content that you create for your social media channels, your websites, and etc. etc. They are targeted towards the audience persona that you have for your businesses. There has to be CTAs, be it website blogs, be it ad copies, be it social media posts. They have to be CTA rich. Yeah, so writing those dynamic copies are some of the other examples of marketing use cases. There are plenty more. I have listed some of them. Say, for instance, if you go even deeper, competitor strategy intelligence by scanning websites, social media, product catalogs, pricing pages, and etc. So a similar one I've already mentioned. Keyword and content gap analyzer. So let's say, for instance, you have your website content, your competitor has their website content. You can scan the websites of your scan your website as well as your competitor's website, and you can perform analysis as to, okay, my website is rich on these keywords and the competitors' websites are rich on these keywords. Where is the difference? Where is it that I should focus on based on the product and services that I'm providing? So all this kind of research can be done using various generative AI tools. Purchase history insight generator analyzing historical purchase patterns to identify seasonality, building preferences, churn signals, recommend personalized offers, loyalty programs, and all of those things can be done using generative AI. And this is one example where again you will have um, you will use the capability of generative AI to be able to analyze data, structured data, which are in your CRMs and other systems, which contain the purchase history of your clients, uh, and that will bring out insights. And you have, let's say, thousands and thousands of rows of purchase data from customers from your e-commerce website or whatever channels, right? And from there are definite patterns. You will find out patterns as to what certain groups of customers look like in the sense, what are their purchasing preferences? What are the I am back. I lost the connection for a moment.
Yeah, we lost you for some time. Yes.
Yeah. So, can you tell me where I was when I
Just
got
a few
disconnected?
seconds only. Just a few
Oh, a
seconds
few
only,
seconds.
Manas. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Then I was probably in the purchase history insight generator. Um, so again, this is one example where you analyze your customer purchase history, find out different customer segments, find out their purchasing patterns. Let's say you have thousands and thousands of purchase records from different channels. Maybe it's your website, maybe it's your e-commerce channel, maybe it's third-party e-commerce channels. Maybe there are other partners that B2B partners or B2C partners that you have tied up with. So you bring in data, and that get deposited in your purchase databases. And analyzing those data will certainly bring up insights on, for that matter, um, group. So you will be able to identify groups of customers who show similar kind of patterns. So let's say they purchase at purchase based or after certain events or festivals, right? Or certain months of the years. Second. Yeah, certain month of the year and etc. Okay, so those are the patterns that you can find out from your purchase history inside generation. So these are deep capabilities of data analysis that generative AI provides. Generative AI provides. Okay, data builder. Again, deep data-driven insights in synthesizing CRM data, survey responses, AI-powered cross-sell, upsell. So these are all deeper use cases where generative AI is leveraged using their deep data or data analysis capabilities. Right. So these are some of the use cases that we have. Now let's understand. Pause for a moment and if there is any question so far, anybody wants to put your question on the chat box. So if there is any question at this moment. Okay. It's somebody who has requested to share the PPT. Sir, PPT cannot be shared. PPT, these PPTs are results of a lot of hard work for the authors, trainers, content creators. And what happens is that when we start sharing PPTs, within a couple of days, I can guarantee you that PPTs are going to be floating in the LinkedIn. So the video is going to be available. You can BCIC is going to is that the video is getting recorded and video is going to be available within YouTube. We can refer to that. I'll go on. All right. All right. So let's understand the capability large language models. Now we have seen ChatGPT, right? Now let's do a little hands-on. Okay, so we have been talking for some time. Let's do a little hands-on. So nothing very simple. I'll just go into chatgpt.com. I've got a premium license of ChatGPT. So by virtue of that, I have probably bigger quota than the normal free tier. But anyway, so let's ask a question. Please tell me the geographical diversity of India. Okay, let's see what they come with. All right, so it's coming back with something. Now, how does it get this knowledge? Okay. It's not that we are trying to learn about the geography of India. It's just throwing a question to everybody and getting the response back, right? So try to map it to this over here to explain the context or explain the capabilities of large language model. What are activities of large language models that become prominent? One, I asked a question in language and I'm getting a response back in LLMs are systems, or generative AI are systems which are able to understand natural language inputs and are able to articulate back responses using natural language. What is natural language? Our spoken language, like I'm speaking now in English, my mother tongue Bengali, or somebody's Hindi, somebody's Kannada, and somebody's Telugu, etc., etc. These are all natural languages. And by the way, the generative AI, most of the generative AI tools that we are familiar with also have multilingual capabilities. So they have multilingual capabilities. They have comprehension as well as articulation. Okay, now, which is fine, which is one of the capabilities that they have. So it has articulated the response in natural language, but it has also the knowledge, right? Where did this knowledge come from? Right? Where did this knowledge come from? So the way the generative AI systems are created, or the large language models are created, they are fed the entire world's data. Literally every information that is publicly available on the internet are scraped by OpenAI or the Google or Microsoft, etc. All these companies have scraped the data from our websites and they are fed to build these LLMs. So not only this tools like ChatGPT have the ability to comprehend and articulate in natural language, they know the entire world's knowledge, right? So the natural language comprehension and articulation and the global knowledge is present in their memory. Now that gives them the ability to perform data analysis, complex computation, query responses, content generation, summarization. Now, I understand query responses, content generation, summarization, which are kind of example of the example that we are taking here in ChatGPT. But what happens to data analysis and complex computations? How did this come about? So we are saying that the entire world's data have been fed to these LLMs to train them, right? And as a result, we have this large language model. So where did this data analysis and complex computation came about? They came about because, okay, so let's park that question and go back to, probably go back to ChatGPT and check out one thing. So what is the difference between generative AI and large language model? Are they same? Anyone? Anybody wants to Have a go at that. Is a large language model or and the generative AI tool, are they the same? No? All right. So they are not exactly the same. The model, so ChatGPT is a generative AI tool. The engine behind ChatGPT is the large language model. So if you go to the top left-hand corner of your ChatGPT screen, and if you see this list over here, you will see these are the models, and you can change the models. Now, why do I need to change the models? Can ChatGPT not give me one model and which can do everything? It can, but all these models have different capabilities. So let's say, for instance, the mini models. So you have a O4 mini, or you have a 4 mini, or you have something else mini, etc. So these mini models are miniaturized models. So they are supposed to be very fast. O3, O4, and also O1. There was O1. It's not there. I can see it. I can't see it right now. So these models are very good at reasoning. Okay. They will not instantly give you answers to the questions that you want. Instead, break down your question every time into smaller chunks and make sure it is giving a thoughtful answer, a well-researched answer, right? Whereas 4O is not a model which is very good at reasoning, right? So that's the difference between the large language models. And so these are large language models with different capabilities. And the ChatGPT is basically a tool which helps you get the responses from the large language models that you choose over here. So I can choose O3, or I can choose 4.5, anything, and it'll bring in that capability inside your ChatGPT. So that's the difference between brief difference between the large language models and Gemini. Now, you can also attach other data along with ChatGPT. So you have this plus sign over here with which you can add your data and perform, let's say, analysis, or let's say, add a file and add a PDF file and ask questions from there, and all of those things can happen. So that gives you this capability that they can also ingest additional data, right? So your ChatGPT, you can attach additional data with your ChatGPT and ask it questions. Now, going back to our question on how does data analysis and complex computation come about? One of the other capabilities of large language model is this. I would say write a program to reverse a sentence, or let's say write a Java program to reverse a sentence. Yes. So that's all. Now, this is one of its capabilities, that they are very good at writing programs. Okay. So ChatGPT has become very good at that. Gemini from Google has become very good at that. So what they do is, when you perform an analysis, when you perform an operation of data analysis and complex computation, what the ChatGPT is going to do is that it is going to write a program to perform that, and then execute that program for you, which gives you this data analysis capability, right? So that's how all these capabilities from the ChatGPTs of the world come about. I'll skip this portions. Now we'll do some more hands-on. Okay, so we were talking about marketing operations. So let's look at how with ChatGPT or related kind of tools, we can perform some analysis. So let's say we have scenario one for a sparkling natural energy drink. Our objective is to create a compelling product description that appeals to young urban professionals who seek natural wellness and aesthetic lifestyle choices. So this is our objective. And what is our business? We are into the business of sparkling natural energy drinks. So our company makes them, right? Our company produces a sparkling natural energy drink, and we want to create a product description that we want to use in, let's say, Facebook or in our ad, whatever, right? So let's say how we do that. Okay, so I'm not going to write the prompt. I have the prompt written. I'm just going to copy that from somewhere because it's a long prompt, and I will use that prompt. Let's look at the prompt. Let's before executing it, let's look at the prompt. So typically, if we are using ChatGPT, we will use prompts which are, let's say, flat. Okay, flat meaning flat. So let's say when I have shown you this um, objective, you will probably copy that objective and tell ChatGPT bus creates something like this, right? But prompting is much beyond that. Okay, you have to include a lot of different elements to make it more meaningful. Okay, so let's see the prompt, what we have written. Write a product description for a sparkling energy drink made with natural botanicals, no added sugar, and adaptogens. Target audience is going to be health conscious millennials aged 25 to 35, living in urban areas, interested in clean ingredients, design, and mental wellness. Style, we have also included a style, minimalist yet poetic, visually aesthetic, similar to boutique brands like Aesop or Keen, I don't know those brands. Um, Calm, elevated, and mindful tone. And instructions are humanize the tone with emotional resonance and daily life references, sensory language, include psychographic appeal that fits into your wellness routine, a moment of clarity, keep the paragraph within 100 words. Now, if you observe this prompt, this is the art of writing prompts. Okay, you have to add the question, the actual instruction. We have included the target audience. We have included the style that is going to be used for writing this product description. We have included a tone. We have included additional instruction, humanizing, sensory language, psychographic appeal, and all of that. So if you are a marketeer, hardcore marketeer, you will be able to relate that these are some of the things that need to be part of your content that you are expressing to your target audience, right? So let's see what it comes back with. All right, so within 100 words, because we have said 100 within keep the paragraph within 100 words, it has created this content crafted for moments for that call for quiet clarity, sparkling energy drink blends natural botanicals, etc., etc. Calm energy meets elevated taste, companion for yeah. All right, so we don't have to get too much into the output, but this is crafted using the prompt that you have written. So now you understand that there is also an art of writing prompts. So when you are going into your chat GPT and trying to solve a problem, so this is what, so there's a problem that you have. Your company has given you this assignment of creating this content, and your deliverable is this prompt. Okay, and these are the kind of elements that you have to blend in within the prompt. So let's take another example. So for a cold brew coffee beverage, we have to craft a product description targeting creative professionals and remote workers looking for a powerful and stylish caffeine experience. So we will do that. But before doing that, I will take a couple of questions I think are waiting in the chat box. Just give me one moment. All right. So we've got a couple of questions. So first question is, okay, does a question. Okay, so there are more than a couple of questions. All right, using AI contents in a website and blog, is it really valuable in ranking? Yes, it is valuable in ranking. Now, so here's the point. You cannot expect ChatGPT or the generative AI tool that you are using to create magic for you. Okay, your generative AI outcome is as good as the prompt that you write. Now, if you look at this prompt and map it with the outcome that it has given you, you can see that you have to do a very good job at writing the prompt. If you do a very good job at writing the prompt, the outcome you are going to get is going to be good as well. Now, here is another thing about writing prompts, that is generating output from your generative AI, which is this outcome may not be exactly ideal to what I'm looking for right now. Now, so then what should we do? Try out different variations of wordings in your prompt. Try out different permutation, combination, iterate. Do not expect your generative AI to give you the final outcome exactly what you're looking for. Generative AI cannot read your mind, right? And also, when you are generating the outcome, you also need to see different variations of it to finalize as to, okay, this looks actually good, which I think is ideal for consumption by our clients or prospects, right? So you need to do iterations of refining your prompts to refine your output and see what is looking great. Okay, so to answer your question, using AI contents in website and blog, yes, if you write the great prompts, your outcomes are going to be great. There are a lot of things that it can automate, like say, for instance, keyword inclusion and all meaningfully. So those things you don't have to do it. I mean, there is a lot of scratching of head that happens to infuse the keywords in the blogs and articles, so that you don't have to worry about. Can you suggest which Gen AI tools to use for marketing requirements? See, there are many different generative AI tools. So some of the, I'll probably type it down. So one is the most used one, which is ChatGPT. Then we have Google Gemini. I'm just writing down in the chat box so you can copy. Then you have DeepSeek. Okay. DeepSeek is great at reasoning. Then you have Claude from Anthropic, very good in data analysis. Okay, then you have ChatGPT and Google Gemini are very good in image generation as well. ChatGPT uses a model called DALI, and Google Gemini uses a model called Imagen. So these models are very good at image generation. So we have ChatGPT, Google Gemini, DeepSeek, Claude, then we have Perplexity. Now, Perplexity is very good at researching, right? So let's say, for instance, you want to create a small ebook for your targeted customers on a particular product area or particular research area, or you want to do your marketing research yourself. Perplexity is the ideal go-to place. Okay, so Perplexity is AI is another one. QN Chat, this is Alibaba's. So, Alibaba of China. So DeepSeek is Chinese. QN Chat is Alibaba. So these are Chinese ones, but nevertheless, they are very good as well. Yeah, so I have written 6 of them. Now, I've mentioned some of the strengths. So if you are doing a deep data analysis, go to Claude. If you are doing reasoning, if you want very good quality answers based on logical reasoning, you can go to DeepSeek. If you are doing deep research, you can go to Perplexity. These are some of the strengths. Otherwise, if you're doing image generation, you can go to ChatGPT and Google Gemini. So these are some of the, this is how you have to decide. It depends on what you are looking for. Okay. Now, what happens is that today I am saying this, but these companies are coming out with more and more models with more and more features. So what I have just said may be invalid after 3 months, right? So you have to be in touch with the market and see, okay, so this is 25th April, and Manas said that Claude was great at data analysis. But 3 months down the line, let's say end of July, that may not be correct anymore. And you will see that, okay, ChatGPT has far um, outshone Claude in terms of data analysis, coding, etc., right? So you need to be in touch with the market. What I just said is current state. All right, so next question is, suppose my company wants to use a generative AI tool like ChatGPT, custom-built AI model to analyze confidential financial data such as identify trends, privacy, secure. Okay. So this is a very good question on data privacy. I would give you, so there's a very long answer. For now, I'll show you a hack. So if you are in ChatGPT, you go to this top right-hand button, settings, go to secure, I think data controls. Okay. And then you see this first option over here, improve the model for everyone is switched off, right? So why is it switched off? Because I do not want my data to be ingested by ChatGPT for a further training, so that my data doesn't turn up somewhere else, right? So this is one simple hack of ensuring that your data is remaining private. Now, can you still trust OpenAI? A lot of people will say, no, I still cannot trust OpenAI. Fair enough. I mean, we cannot trust any of these big tech companies. I mean, they will, whatever they want to do, they will do, and without any repercussion. What will you do? You can't do anything. I mean, we can't do anything. You want to frame a lawsuit against Google. Okay, good luck, right? So if they want to do something, they will do it. We cannot really trust them. So what is our what is a ring fencing that we can do? So let's say, for instance, you want to perform some data analysis, and you have the concern that that data contain customer information, and it will be ingested by your ChatGPT, and the data is not going to remain private. So what will I do? Think about a situation. You have credit card transactions, right? If you have credit card transactions, you want to, let's say, perform some analysis with that data. Now, the credit card transaction also has the customer name, email, credit card number, etc. Tell me something. For your data analysis, do you need the credit card number or the customer's name? You don't. Your analysis is going to be focused on fields like when the transaction took place, what was being purchased, where was it being purchased, what is the value of the transaction. You have no business of inserting the customer or using the customer's name and the credit card number in that data which you are sending for analysis. So what will you do? You strip off those information and you use the rest for your analysis. Your analysis is going to be focused on transaction value, transaction date time, product being purchased, etc. Now you tell me, that information gets leaked, right? So somebody has got hold of your data that you are analyzing using the public platform that has transaction value, product being purchased, date time stamp, right? Even if that information gets leaked, what will that person do with it? If that person cannot associate a customer, an individual customer, and the credit card information, credit card number, Is there any value to the hacker for the data? No, there is not. So when you disassociate your data from the PII data and just take that portion which is actually required for your analysis, you are desensitizing your data, and hence privacy is not going to be a problem. You use that data. Your PII data, credit card number, all of those are not there. You perform your analysis, no problem. There are other ways of um, ensuring privacy. There are other technical ways of using generative AI. We are not getting into that. So these are simple couple of examples which you can practice to um, which you can use in while you are using generative AI tools. Okay, some other questions I have. Can you create our own GPT? Also, how we can safeguard our data from other GPTs? Can we create your own GPT? Yes, you can create your own GPT, but that breaks your bank. That breaks your bank. But there are, as I was saying, that there are other options. So let's say, for instance, you want to create your own GPT, or I mean that your own model. You can create your own model from your own data. That is possible. There are techniques available, the same techniques that these guys have used to create those models. So you can use the same. You cannot create such large models, but it is possible to create problem-focused models, which are small models, which you can use in your own server data center as well. Right, Sitaram, you were mentioning, what about purchase behavior analysis? Yes, that analysis with that data, you will get a idea about the analysis, the patterns. Now, who that pattern relates to is not going to be available to the data. Now, what I said is a good practice. Does it solve 100% of your privacy problem? No, it doesn't. Right? But these are mandatory practice to keep your data sanity. Does it prevent 100% of data privacy? You don't want the purchase behavior analysis. Is that possible? No. If somebody is taking your data while you are using it for analysis, that is possible. Yeah. So it's not 100% foolproof. There are options of making it 100% foolproof. You can use large language models in your own data centers. That breaks your bank, but then there are mechanisms that are possible. Okay, all right. So let's look at some of the other hands-on exercises. So this is another one that we wanted to check out. Okay, or rather than this one, we will check out one example for image generation. So let's say, for instance, we will use this. Now, what I said is that there are other which are available. So we will use Google Gemini for that matter. And I will take the prompt for this image generation and use it. And let us study this prompt. Okay, so what did I write? So what was our problem statement? We wanted to generate a light and airy campaign visual for a spring launch of a cucumber mint sparkling beverage. Okay, so that's our interesting use case. And the one that we are using is that. But so first I have to make it clear that create or generate an image of a bottle of cucumber mint sparkling water placed in a bed of dew-kissed green leaves, and etc. etc. Subject of the image is mentioned. Cucumber mint beverage bottle, composition of the image. So if you are into content generation, creative generation, you will be familiar with these terms. The subject of your image, the composition of your image, the style of your image, the emotion of your image, the lighting, the texture, the image parameters, and all of that stuff. So we have created a prompt which captures all of that stuff. Now, what if you are a layperson and if you want to if you are using ChatGPT or similar tools, let's say, for instance, here in this case, the Google Gemini, what would you probably have done? You probably would have given a prompt without mentioning any of this. Okay. Now, this is the difference between a good prompt and a ordinary prompt. So now let's generate this image. Takes a little while. All right. So based on the prompt that we have given, this is what it has come back with. So what was our prompt? Our prompt was cucumber mint beverage bottle, composition center focus product, refreshing, calm, optimistic, texture, linen fabric. All of that stuff is taken care of. Happy? So now this is something that you can use for your branding, for your product image, etc. Right? Some of you are familiar with Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Firefly, or for that matter, Canva. They have their own strengths. If you are more open-minded and try to experiment with different variation, experiment with unknown outcomes, this is something that you can definitely try. And some of it may be very, very useful as well. Right? So if you would have tried to create this in Canva or any other platforms, this probably would have taken you a couple of hours, maybe, right? But with the prompt, if you have prompt templates like this, with the prompt, you can generate it literally within seconds, right? So there's another example of image. I have another example of image, but let's skip that and try to do a target segmentation. So we have been speaking about data analysis for marketing strategy and so on. And I said that Claude is the go-to large language model or LLM tool, which you should use for your data analysis. So let's let's take this example. So what we will do is creating an audience segment analysis using natural language prompt. So I have a couple of data files. So I'll give you a little glimpse of those data files. First is customer behavior sample dataset, and the second is customer profile sample dataset. So I'll give you a little glimpse. I don't know whether you can see it. I'll make it a little big. So we have which devices, product views, which product views, support tickets raised, cart abandonment rate, login frequency, time spent per session, etc., etc. And the second one is customer profile sample, which is this age, gender, location, purchase history. These are the products that this person has purchased. Last purchase days ago, email engagement, some kind of scoring, subscription type, session in last. So all those information are there in the two data files that I have. So now let's go to Claude. The first thing that I have to do is upload these two files, and I will do that. Where are my files? These are the two files that I have, and I upload them. Now I'm going to give a couple of prompts. So what I'm going to ask it. All right, so here is our prompt. Create a segment of female users aged 25 to 40 who made at least 2 purchases in the last 60 days and primarily browse wellness products. Only include those who haven't responded to the last 3 email campaigns. So this is a target segment that you want to work with. You want to create some kind of promotion. You want to bring those customers back into your site. make them interested on your products, etc. So you have created a target customer profile, and you are using your data to bring up which of those actual individual customers fall into this bracket. Okay, so you can see now, as I mentioned before, that this data analysis complex computations capability is coming from the fact that they are very good at writing programs. So what it is doing is that from your question, it is actually writing a large program, and it is going to execute that program on its server and give you the results. So that's what happens on data analysis. All right, so it has come back with view analysis. Okay, so this view analysis. I found that creating the segment with your exact data is not possible with the current data structure. Let me explain what I discovered and suggest a modified. So the question itself was wrong, right? So the data set contains categories. The email engagement score is there. And this is the segment criteria that I have given: recent purchase, 60 days, and etc. Would you like me to create a modified segment based on the available data? No. Okay, I'll try something else, let's say. Right. So this is smart enough to give you suggestions. Even the criteria that I've given is not made from the current data. Actually, it is correct. I have run it once in ChatGPT, and it came back with only one user. So basically, Claude is smartly saying that, because I mean, there is no group as such. So here is a simple one. I need a list of users who are located in metro cities. While it is doing that, shall we look at other question? Can this help me to know what changes will my customer have? What changes will my customer have in their buying space in the next 1 year? So yeah, you can. Purna Chandra, so you can have if you have a trend, then you using generative AI. So the beauty of generative AI is that it can preempt. Okay, it can perform data analysis, and it can also preempt. So this kind of answers from the traditional analytics platforms, it may not be possible to provide some of those answers. But with generative AI, they will preempt, they will kind of sense what you are trying to do. And from the data, it'll try to, not the hard patterns, also the speculative patterns. The traditional analytics will give you the hard patterns. The generative AI will also give you what may happen. In the same prompt handle in the bottle. Yeah, I mean, you can try that out. Prompt for image contained, we include guardrails like should be IEPR. Yes, of course, you can do all of those things. Thank you. All right. Okay, so you see there. So it has written the program, and then it has come back with a multitude of different angles of answering your question. So total users in metro cities, gender distribution, subscription types. This is a distribution that is given. So this is summary information, and this is the detailed information that it has come back with. So if I just ask one other question, say, give me the list of users who have viewed cold brew products more than 3 times in the past week, right? So you have recently launched the cold brew products, and you want to check out those customers who are interested, who are showing interested in those products. Okay, the only thing that sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Especially those tasks which need multiple steps and reasoning on all of that stuff. So yeah, so it has come back with this analysis information. So what did we want? Give me the list of users who have viewed cold brew products more than 3 times in the past week. And it has given us those. And it has also given us key insights like age distribution. 18 to 25 is 21% of that user base. Gender distribution, subscription types, distribution, purchase recency. So you see that you from generative AI. I mean, in a traditional analytics platform, you would have asked this question. You had to kind of give some kind of command, which you had to learn, and now you are providing your question in natural language. Not only it is giving you the question answer that you are looking for, but also a lot of information which may be relevant, because if you look at these distributions, there may trigger some marketing strategy of targeting certain groups of segments, and you can create your own. Looking at this data, you can create your own target segment, and you can do something about. I mean, you can make a marketing strategy around that as well. Now, one question is, are this possible in ChatGPT? Yes, they are possible. Is it possible in Gemini? Yes, it is possible. Why are we using Claude? Because Claude is the best in doing this kind of stuff, right? For now. All right. Okay, so we have seen some. So let's go back to as organizations, how do you really, what is really, how do you adopt generative AI? Do you adopt ChatGPT and give it to your employees and say that, okay, please start using ChatGPT? Okay, yes, that's probably one of the ways to start off, right? How is it going to help? It's going to help in improving individual productivity. Will they know how to use them? No, they won't. Okay, so just like any other skill, generative AI is also a skill. Now, the kind of prompts that we have written without proper awareness, without proper guidance, do you think somebody will be able to create those kind of prompts? They will not. Okay. So one is adoption of the tools is fine. That's the starting prompt. But also you need to make sure that your workforce is trained, right? So if they are supposed to perform certain jobs, how do they improve their productivity in those job functions using generative AI? Generative AI, no doubt, can improve productivity drastically, but it is also a skill, and it is not it cannot, that skill cannot get developed in somebody, in individuals intuitively, right? The person can, I mean, there are individuals who are going to take the extra effort of learning it and going find out material from the internet. And then, I mean, information is plenty in the internet. If somebody wants it, it'll do, but then that is going to be 2 or 3 out of 10. So there is a need for organizational awareness, building organizational awareness. One, giving the skill, and the second also is the organizational awareness in the sense that you need to figure out how in your processes, in even in terms of individual productivity, how you will implement those tools. What tool will be used in what functions, what particular tasks, and how. Okay, create some templates around it, create the understanding around it, create the process around it, just like you have manual processes, and that also uses some traditional IT systems. Similar way, you have to also tune your processes to include Gen AI application. Okay, and processes that are probably taking you end to end, let's say 20 hours, may come down to say 7 hours. There are still going to be some manual things. There is still going to be human in the loop and all of that stuff. So it's imperative that it's kind of a given that uh, as I said that application of Gen AI is kind of all encompassing. So it will come down drastically. Whether it will be completely eliminated, of course not. Okay. Second is so one is skill awareness, and the second is targeting and infusing generative AI in your processes in a structured manner. Third is that all? No, we have just spoken about generative AI individual productivity improvement techniques. Okay. So we have seen some examples of data analysis. We have seen some examples of prompting. I mean, very deep ways of prompting, all of that stuff, which is great, but that is still limited to individual level productivity improvement. Okay. Now, what is beyond that? What is beyond that is also these large language models. So we have used Gemini, and it is using these models. We have used ChatGPT. These are using these models. Okay. But apart from the models being used through the generative AI tools like ChatGPT and Gemini, they are also available for to be used from inside applications. Okay. From inside applications. So how does that happen? There is something called APIs, and those APIs will can be used inside your traditional IT applications, and generative AI features can be built within traditional IT application. So let's say, for instance, um, I give an example of we have created an assessment product. Okay, so in that assessment product, we can set up tests, and candidates can come and take those tests. So this product is sold to companies. Companies can set up tests, and they send the test link to the candidates. Candidates use that link to appear for the test. Now they are appearing from their homes. Now God knows who is there beside this person, and God knows what material or he or she is committing a fraud, copying from somewhere, asking somewhere, standing behind his or her back, etc. All of those can happen, right? So there is a feature that we have introduced, is that there is a constant clicking of snaps of the candidate is going to happen. Okay, so while the candidate is taking the test, the system is continuously taking images. Okay, clicking images of the person, of the candidate. Now, what do we do with that image? We have to find out whether there is in that image there is any possibility of any fraud happening. So what do we do is that we take that image, send it to a large language model using our API from our application. So what is going to what's happening is that the LLM analyzes that image. Okay, the LLM analyzes that image, and it tells me back, it tells the application back that there is another person in that image, or the person's head is turned, and there is a probability that the person is looking at something else and committing a fraud. So that verdict is coming back from the generative AI, that the LLM that is embedded within my application using an API. So all these kind of smart features can be created in application. Content generation, data analysis, image understanding, image generation, all of that can be created. So in our marketing application, marketing product that we are helping one of our clients with, in there we are also having the we have created the ability to create based on a particular post, it also creates the image for LinkedIn, image for Facebook, image for Instagram automatically, right? The marketeer doesn't have to do it. The image is created automatically. It also has the ability to um, insert a external image, but that notwithstanding. All right, so let's say, for instance, if you want to check out a little bit more about images. So let's say image of a gas turbine. Okay, sorry. What did I write? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so I'll take this image, one of the images. I'll copy this image and I will come back to ChatGPT and can you please, so this is an example of image understanding. Can you please analyze and tell me the details of the object in this image? And this is not only available, this capability is not only available within ChatGPT, it can be made available within your IT systems using the LLM API. Okay, so it says that this image shows a cross-sectional view of a gas turbine, typically used in power generation and etc. Okay, so yeah, I mean, let it create the list of the content. But our thing is that be it in customer understanding, segmentation, campaign optimization, content strategies, SEO, social digital presence, data-driven strategy and forecasting, how do you, so if you want to take a screenshot of this page, you can, how do you really approach the adoption of generative AI? So ask yourself this question: how can we identify new microsegments in our customer base using behavioral, transactional, and engagement data? Can we answer this question from current data? Probably yes, maybe cumbersome. Generative AI, yes, it's going to make it very easy. Okay, or for that matter, under SEO, which keywords or topics are our competitors ranking for which we are missing? So that analysis can be made very, very easy using generative AI. So these are the enterprise level applications or usages that you can go for on your marketing operations. Okay, and these are the kind of starting questions that you should trigger in your mind to make a start in your marketing Gen AI adoption in your marketing operations. Some of the trends, marketing trends that we are kind of observing is hyper personalization in marketing, AI driven creativity. Some of the examples that we have seen: predictive and prescriptive analytics, multimodal and voice search optimization, media buying, agentic AI. All of that stuff are going to be some of the trending things on generative AI in the next couple of years. So we'll skip some of those. Yeah, that's all. We are almost at the end of it. So what I'll do is I'll take some questions. Are there more questions? I guess so. Do you have any ideas on field visit of new customer to field visit for new customer to approach them? We don't have contact database of new customer. What tool will help us? So there are there are a lot of different tools. Okay, and Gen AI can be infused as one of the tools in lead generation. So there are various techniques, and most of those techniques are not really from within the ChatGPTs of the world, or so those require IT intervention. Those require scraping data from Facebook, LinkedIn, websites, and all of that. So those require, I mean, pipelines to be created, IT interventions to be created to build those kind of solutions. How much would a Gen AI tool cost? What is the typical pricing model? So so it depends on the context, right? So if you are talking about buying ChatGPT, I mean, that's $20. I mean, if somebody wants to use ChatGPT very frequently, then you need a plus subscription. That's $20 a month, which is nothing. But you need a marketing automation solution. Then that marketing automation solution has to be built. Now, there are some pre-built SaaS models which may charge you anything between $40 to $80 or maybe even more per month. But if you have very specific needs, in those cases, those IT applications are to be developed. So my company, myself, we are into advising companies in not only bringing up the awareness about GenAI adoption, but also building those solutions like the marketing solution or the assessment solution, all of those things. We perform, I mean, we develop those kind of solutions, right? So it depends on what your specific needs. It can be $1 million solution, or it can be $1,000 solution. It completely on the scale and need of the scenario, just like traditional IT. Any other question? I'll hang around for some time to answer any questions.
Wonderful session, Manas.
Thank you. Can we create visualizations, sales dashboards using ChatGPT? Yes, of course. You can, I mean, using ChatGPT, yes, you can do that, but those are not going to be dashboards. I mean, those are going to be one-off reports. You have to, every time you have to upload your data and you have to give a prompt to see the results on ChatGPT, right? You want to create a dashboard that for that you need a kind of a small little application to be developed by writing programs and using the APIs of the large language models that ChatGPT uses, which is this. So the APIs. So where will you find those models? So let's say if you want to check out what models OpenAI has, you Google for OpenAI models. You got this page called OpenAI models, and you will find the API specifications and pages of all the models. So let's say O1 Mini. In your program, you have to use these models for accessing the APIs. How to prepare a sales forecast using API? I mean, you can upload your sales data and you can build your prompt. Again, I mean, see, these are not one-line solutions. I mean, you got to kind of study and you got to create proper prompts and use the proper data to extract those. So so ChatGPT is not magic. It cannot give you one-line solutions for complex problems. What is the prompt for data collection of the customer? A prompt for data collection. See, there is no prompt for data collection of the customer in chatbot. You need to have the customer data, which you can analyze in chatbot. If you want to collect data, then there are other tools that can be integrated with chatbot to create a solution. And again, as I'm saying that these are complex solutions you are giving, and you are expecting a ChatGPT one-line solution, then there is no ChatGPT solution. So those can be done by the ChatGPT models, but those are solutions that need to be created. And crude solution is that if you have the data, you can analyze it uploading just like the way we analyze the data in Claude. You can analyze using. So just ask the question. Okay, you have the data, and you just ask the question that you want to know from the data. Suitability of various tools like deep analysis of business. So Claude is the one which is a go-to for data analysis. There is another one which is called Julius AI. Now, Claude is having their own models. Julius AI uses ChatGPT models and Claude models, but Julius AI is specifically for data analysis. So you can use Julius AI also. There is another one called Grok, Elon Musk. So Elon Musk also has, Grok is, Grok's specialty is that it is super fast. So in the world of machine learning and data machine learning. So this is all machine learning, right? These models are machine learning models. Okay, these large language models are machine learning models. So in the world of machine learning, there are two terms. One is training. The training is the process to create those or develop or build those models or train those models. Okay, so training is a process of creating those models, which are now being used in ChatGPT. And then the other term is inference. Inference is when you ask a question and the model responds back with the answer, that is inference. So Grok is very famous for its inferencing speed. So the Grok is the fastest, in terms of inferencing. Any other question?
I think though the focus was on marketing operations, you could draw a lot of parallels for other functions too.
Yeah. Okay, shall we close then?
Yes. Thank you, Manas. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thanks a lot, Roopa.
Roopa, Purshot, thanks a lot.
Purshot, yes.
For supporting.
Excellent. Thanks for giving such a detailed overview. Really helped.
Thank you. Hope it is useful. I mean, that's the purpose that after the session, you should be able to use a few of this in your work.
Right.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you. All right, we close then.
Thanks. Yes, Manas, thank you. Thanks to all the participants, and we look forward to have many more sessions on various AI influence in various sectors. So I request the participants to keep watching our circulars. We'll be coming back soon on the next session. Thanks, Manas. Thanks once again. Thanks, Anjana, for the support.
Thank you. Yeah, my only
Thank you,
request
everyone.
is to all the participants to please share it across. Maybe there are other people who are also wanting to know more about it. So please do share across with your network. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anjana. Bye-bye.
Thank you.